Hi, I'm Bodie Pyndus. Many of you know I've been making Beads of Courage boxes since last summer. But this one's special because we've made Beads of Courage for the Beads of Courage program. And recently, my grandson was diagnosed with leukemia. So Skylar is now a recipient of the Beads of Courage box. And this is it. This is the one that I'm building for him. There you go. To start this project, I select some nice mahogany. I have it milled up enough, and I'm just cutting it to size now. So I clamp the piece down, and I just take a little shavings to get it smooth, where you know you have this. That side's done. So here's a piece of walnut, 2 inches, that I'm going to cut the top out of this one piece. I put this on my bandsaw, and from this side, cutting to this line, rotating it, cutting it to this line. And I do that on all the sides, and I'll do it on this side as well, and I'll leave a little square in here with all these sides beveled out, and I'll cut down this way to be able to cut off those pieces. So when I started my cut, and when I got through into this part, the back part, because the tension had already closed. So now I have to work on getting the board pried apart so I can get it out of the cut, get the saw out of the cut. So so I have all the sides cut. Now all I need to do is cut these 4 cuts, and these pieces here will fall off and leave a little knob on here at the top. So let's see if I did it right. Now I know this is a bad angle for the camera, but I had too much stuff on the other side to be able to get over there. So there's one side cut off, and one more cut will be a second side. There it is. And then we do that 2 more times. We're able to get all 4 sides out. Hey! Now I'm just doing a little undercut under the handle portion to make it look more like a handle by having it recessed back from the top. Here's what it looks like after a little bit of sanding, a little bit of rounding on the corners, and then when you put a little bit of mineral spirits on it so you can see close to what it'll look like with the finished product. So next I take the bottom piece of mahogany and cut dados all the way around it so it'll fit in the box. Then I'm able to take my shoulder plane and get that smooth enough so it'll fit within the 4 sides. Wouldn't it be nice if every glue up went at this speed, to where you can just glue it up and it would be whiz bang in 10 seconds or less? Oh my. Now I'm resawing a piece of mahogany that's going to be the bottom for the 2 tray or drawers that I'm going to make for the box. Now I'm taking some of these mahogany strips that I had left over from another project and just blue taping them together. I'm going to glue these up in pairs, and these are going to be the sides to the little trays that I'm making that'll fit in the box. You'll notice that I'm using a glue syringe. This is the best way to apply the glue for a nice thin coat of glue. So I did some test cuts at 15 degrees, at 30 degrees, and I marked them here, and then the last one at 45 degrees to see which one of these angles I like the best. And so while this just had a slight angle, this one just barely could tell, the 45 degree angle created the upward sloping chevron that I was looking for. So that's the 45-degree angle we're going to use for our splines. All right, in preparation for making my little triangle splines on all 4 edges, I've got out my spline jig here, and I'll adjust this so when I put these guys in here, it'll make this a cut as appropriate. So I put my box on my jig, I clamp it up, make a cut, rotate it, unclamp it, clamp it back in, make another cut. Then to adjust my jig, I turn it over on the other side, get my measurements just right for the second round of splines, and make those cuts accordingly. And we'll repeat the process until we get all 3 sets of splines cut. Now it's just a matter of getting the walnut splines inserted and glued into the box. So I'm sawing off the wedges that you glued in, and you just keep your fingers press firmly on the saw, and just, there you go. It's that easy. Nice flush wedges, require just a touch of sanding. Other than that, those are real good. So I've built these little boxes that go inside the box to be able to hold the beads to distinguish the differences. So this is simply made by taking 2 pieces of mahogany, these little strips, and I made a little lap joint between these 2 guys like this, so these guys go together, and I cut a little cross section here so you can see the inside of that for a cross. They'll go right over top of this to hold this guy in as a handle. So that's all that is. I made sure that this was the height enough to where the other box could fit on top and not be in contact with it. So with that, let's glue it up. So I encourage you, after watching this video, if you're so inspired, to build a Beads of Courage box and send it to me so we can share it with other children who are also in the Beads of Courage program. I'll leave a link down below for the other videos that explains more about the Beads of Courage program. So if you liked our video on Beads of Courage boxes, hey, consider giving us a thumbs up. Want to see more of our videos? Consider subscribing down below. And as usual, come back and see me real soon.